Bonjour y'all, my name is Brita, and today on Witches Unite, I am quickly going over everything you need to know for the upcoming August Community Day in Wizards Unite. This will be focused around fortresses, and unfortunately it's basically identical to the Night Bus Community Day that we had a few months ago. That was sort of a big challenge for lower level and newer players. So while I will very quickly skim over the tasks and rewards, most of this video is going to be focusing on tips to help you prepare for Community Day and to help you get through Community Day to the best of your ability. All right. Very quickly, the tasks and rewards for Community Day. You can follow along on my screen with the infographic provided by Orange Wizard. So these tasks are divided into 4 sets. You have to complete one set in order to move on to the next set. The first set is essentially take the Night Bus and win challenges in the Ruins Chambers. And then the second set is taking the Night Bus and winning challenges in the Tower Chambers. The third set, you guessed it, is taking the Night Bus and winning challenges in the Forest Chambers. Oh, and Dark Chamber 1. And then the last one is Dark 3, Dark 4, Dark 5. So I do remember from the Community Day that we had, was it April, May, the last Forest one, that you didn't actually have to do fortresses in the Night Bus. I will try and find out if these tasks will count if you do them at your local fortress. I will try and have that reflected here on the screen, but it might be an update in the description down below just because of the timing of everything. So yeah, tasks and rewards. The rewards are honestly not super great, and they do not include Defense Against the Dark Arts books. They include scrolls, which, you know, is fine, and spell books, which a lot of you guys still need. If anyone is still working on a second profession or a third profession, you still need spell books. You know, spell books are still valuable, you guys. But scrolls, really? Anyway, so those are the tasks, and yeah, let's talk about advice. First of all, unpopular opinion. You don't actually have to finish Community Day. There, I said it. It is completely okay if you only want to do the first 3 sets of tasks and get those Community Day rewards. You do not have to do Dark 5 if you're uncomfortable doing Dark 5. And especially if you haven't unlocked those higher Dark Chambers yet, I advise you not to do those higher Dark Chambers, because you might have noticed that for Brilliant events, the bonus assignments keep asking you to do a Wizarding Challenge in your highest unlocked chamber. So if you speed ahead to unlock all of the Dark Chambers immediately on Community Day, then for every Brilliant event, probably in the immediate future, even though I keep suggesting they change the task, you're going to have to do another Wizarding Challenge in Dark 5. So, if you still have not unlocked the Dark Chambers, I strongly encourage you not to unlock the Dark Chambers unless you have really built up your profession and you finally feel comfortable going there. Just because a lot of players now who did unlock Dark 5 during that previous Community Day are stuck trying to do it again during Brilliant events when they really don't want to, when they really feel uncomfortable doing so. So that is my first bit of advice. I know that you will lose out on a few spell books, but I promise there are other ways to get spell books that don't involve you challenging yourself beyond your comfort level in Wizarding challenges. Quick update while editing, because I completely forgot to mention some of the other details of Community Day. There will be spell energy on the map. and it's always going to be 5 spell energy for Community Day. It's August 8th. It's going to be 24 hours in your local time. I mentioned that in my monthly overview, but I was so focused on giving advice that I kind of forgot, to share some of the basics. And if you complete wizarding challenges in Force 4 or above, you will get a guaranteed bonus fragment. So that's exciting. And you will also get bonus spell energy and bonus challenge XP from doing wizarding challenges all day. So that's all the stuff that's actually like pretty standard from past community days. But like I said, I was just really focused on the advice because I know that there were a lot of complaints from the last Fortress Community Day with the night bus, and I really wanted to help all of you. I still want to help all of you have a fun and successful community day, which I think is the most important part of this community day. Okay, back to the rest of the video. Filming side note, if there's a bunch of noise in the background, that's because we're getting a delivery of stuff for the patio. So I apologize for that, but I'm on a time crunch to film this, so I gotta do it now. All right, back to the advice. If you are ready to complete all of the challenges, you definitely want to finish Dark 5, but you're still not, like, the game doesn't recommend that you do Dark 5. There are some things that you can do to get ready for Community Day to make it easier for you and for your teammates. So, first of all, brew a bunch of potions. Focus on Strong Invigoration Draft, especially if you are a professor and your Stimulo potions. And maybe a few Wit Sharpening potions, just to be on the safe side. Like, maybe 10 Wit Sharpening potions. All of these can help you in challenges. Oh, and healing potions as well, but hopefully you'll be with Magizoologists. But healing potions can also be super helpful if you are not maxed out. So all of these potions can help you in your wizarding challenges. Strong Invigoration Draft gives you more focus. So if you're a professor, that means that you can cast your charms more quickly, you can cast deterioration hexes more quickly. If you're an Auror, you can pass more focus, at least be helping your teammates that way. My husband never brews Invigoration Drafts, but if you are an Auror and you're not a maxed out Auror, just think about maybe doing that in order to help the people on your team. A Magizoologist, you are able to cast Bravery sooner if you have more focus, and you also have that, what is it? Is it Become the Beast? Yeah, I'm not a Magizoologist. If you have a bunch of focus stockpiled, then you are stronger. So think about doing some Strong Invigoration Drafts just in order to get that focus quicker in the game so that you can cast the charms and the hexes that make foes easier to take out for you and for your teammates. Stimulo potions, obviously if you use a stimulo potion against a foe, you hit it harder. So that can help you if you are not, again, maxed out and you're not super strong against your foes, even your proficient foes. The regular, strong, potent stimulo, it really just depends on your resources, and it also depends on what you have unlocked in your SOS training. So right now, my regular stimulo potion is actually as potent as my strongest stimulo potion because of what I've unlocked in my SOS training. But my strongest stimulo potion I can now use 5 times, whereas my regular stimulo potion I still only use 3 times. So I am brewing both of those and using both of those depending on the situation. Wit Sharpening potions, those are used for elite foes. You might want to have these for any dark chambers and maybe even the higher forest chambers. I personally use them when I am in a forest chamber and I have to take an elite foe that I'm not proficient against. And that happens sometimes because I don't mind doing a forest chamber without a full team. So I'll do a forest chamber like just with professors or just with professors and Aurors. So if I get an elite foe that I am neutral against, I use a Wit Sharpening potion to make it easier to attack them. I have also been in situations where Magizoologists never cast Bravery, which Bravery is a charm that a Magizoologist can cast to make it easier for everybody when taking out elite foes. So in that case, Witch Sharpening Potion also helps me take out elite foes faster. And then healing potions, of course, just like if you don't have a lot of health, if you haven't built up your own power, then healing potion, just so you're not, the Magizoologist doesn't have to revive you all the time. You know, consider doing a healing potion in the middle of your first battle or in the middle of your second battle. Whenever your health gets down to like less than 50%, just go ahead and drink a healing potion to knock your health back up. So those are the potions that you should be brewing and stockpiling in advance of Community Day. When talking about potions, I mentioned the strategic spells that you can do. You have hexes and you have charms. So I have done an entire video on strategic spells, which I highly recommend that you watch. It'll be linked up above and a description down below. I've actually done an entire series on Fortresses 101. That playlist will also be linked in the description down below. So if you are, again, just like a lower level in your profession, if you haven't done Dark Chambers before, but you are excited to push yourself to do them on Community Day, then you need to read up on strategy, because you might not be as strong as a maxed out profession, but you can definitely still be a helpful teammate if you know what you're doing. The first time I successfully did Dark 5 was October last year, and I didn't max out my profession until maybe February or March of this year. So you don't need to be maxed out in your profession to be a good teammate in a Dark 5. You just need to know your strengths and what you should be doing in your profession so that you can help your teammates. There are also some profession-specific guides by Animagus, Wizard PhD, and Expecto Go, and all of those are actually in my Fortresses 101 playlist, so you'll be able to find those. Again, it's in the description down below. So just watch the video that is relevant for your profession to learn some of the best tips, tricks, strategies for your profession, regardless of how strong you are and how many lessons you have unlocked. I will say, one of the important things to consider before you start doing your Dark Chambers is how strong your strategic spells are. Have you maxed out proficiency but not shields? Then instead of casting shields, like let the other professor in the group do that and you cast proficiency. It's the opposite. Have you maxed out your shield charm but not proficiency? Then start shielding your other teammates instead of saving up for proficiency. You just want to play to your strengths so that you can be the most helpful teammate that you can be. Finally, the last bit of advice that I can give you is, if at all possible, join one of the Discord servers that coordinates night buses so that you can do a voice chat with your teammates. That way you guys can all work together, figure out who is strong where, decide which professor is going to do what, like which Magizoologist is going to do what. And that will help balance out any weaknesses that you might have in your profession. I am also going to talk to my fellow WUtubers about hosting a Community Day live stream and using that opportunity to help any of you who would like to be teamed up with a maxed out player so that we can help you do your best in the Dark Chambers. So stay tuned with that information. I'm actually hoping to host it if Dan and I figure out my capture card this weekend, and then I can actually live stream from my computer. I'm not making any promises. We'll see how complicated it is, because I haven't done this before, you know. My live streams have just been like Dan and me sitting in front of a camera, not also having my phone connected to the screen. But stay tuned. There will probably be a group live stream for Community Day, and we would love to help you guys unlock your dark chambers and be successful in your wizarding challenges. Alright, that is all that I have for y'all today. I hope that this advice was helpful. I hope that you learned something from this video. And I hope that you realize that this community is for everybody. It's not just for the people who grind 3 hours a day and who have already maxed out 3 professions. Like, that's not me, and that's not what I expect of players. I just want you guys to have fun. I want you to follow the rules, no spoofing, and I want you to be part of the community. You know, Wizards Unite is a game. It's supposed to be fun. It shouldn't be stressful, and I want this community to be a fun, supportive community. If you like this video, if you learned something, please give it a big thumbs up, because that helps the algorithm or something. If you haven't already subscribed, I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers. Like, I can't even believe it. And I'm going to do a giveaway once I hit 1,000 subscribers. So if you want in on that exciting action, hit the subscribe button down below. And if notifications are your jam, ring that notification bell so that you know whenever I have a new video uploaded. Yeah, I think that's it. Until next time, au revoir, witches.